Jan, back at it again with another nerdy bookish video. This is gonna be my first book haul of 2024. Hello, I am filming on my brand new camera. We're still figuring things out. We're gonna try to film monthly book hauls this year. So this is just the books I bought in January. Let me count. 2, 4, 26. And then I pre-ordered a couple that haven't come in yet. A handful of these were also gifts. So there are 26 books in this haul, the physical books that I have physically, that I have with me. So let's just go right on into it. I tried to do a book buying ban in January, as a lot of us have, and as a lot of us have, I failed. But that's okay. I lasted like 2 weeks and that was fine with me. Not to say that I didn't make up for lost time at the end of the month, but that's neither here nor there. We're just gonna start with gifts. Let's do that, because I usually try to start with gifts on my book hauls to express gratitude and everything. First gift is from my girl, Christina. We just had a little weekend together and it was super fun. She got me Red String Theory by Lauren Kung Jessen, and her little note says, "Just 'cause, I love you." This is the same author as Lunar Love. This just came out in January. It gives Invisible String by Taylor Swift vibes because our main character believes in the Chinese legend that everyone is tied to their one true love by the red string of fate. So it just sounds cute. I just hope the main character is not as annoying as Lunar Love, because the character in Lunar Love was so adamant about compatibility based on Chinese zodiac signs. So I really hope this isn't just a copy-paste situation. We're gonna see. Next, I have That Self-Same Metal by Brittany N. Williams. This is from one of my vamps, my patrons, Emma. We're called The Lair. We're vampire themed. The Patreon link is always down below. We have a good time over there. We talk on the Discord every single day. We say good morning to each other every single day. It's so freaking cute. It makes my day. We have movie nights. We have exclusive videos with Joey, lifestyle videos, things like that. We have exclusive sprints, buddy reads with discussions, like video chats, photo dumps, polls. You guys make decisions for me. It's all over there. All the perks are listed in the link down below. But yes, Emma is one of said vampies. She said in her note, "A gift for you because I love you and the lair so much. It truly is a safe space." And that just means the freaking world to me. I just added a bunch of Black authors to my Amazon wishlist in preparation for Black History Month, but this was also intriguing to me because it seems like our main character is super badass. It says, "All the world's a stage and a new heroine is about to make her grand entrance." Oh, and there's also Faye in this. That's why I was interested. Yep. Swashbuckling, romantic, and full of the sights and sounds of Shakespeare's London, this book delivers an unforgettable story and a heroine unlike any other. It's about 16-year-old Joan Sands creates and maintains the stage blades for William Shakespeare's acting company, the King's Men, using her magical ability to control metal, a power gifted to her by the Orisha Ogun. Again, it seems like she's a badass bitch, so hopefully I like this one. And I know the second one, I think, just came out recently as well. Then I have Smashed by Junji Ito, and this was from a subscriber named Liz, so thank you so much. It says, "Happy 7K to my favorite booktuber, you deserve it and more. Thank you so much for all you share with us. It's really been helping me get through winter." And that is so freaking sweet. So I've actually read this before. I think this was my first Junji Ito I've ever read, so this holds a special place in my heart, and I believe I gave this 4 stars. But I'm collecting all of Junji Ito's works. I have a whole shrine above my shelves, so I was really happy when I got this. Y'all know how much I love Junji Ito and his art, his stories, so. And then Joey bought me Near the Bone by Christina Henry. We did a spinner wheel controls our day video for the Carmilla tier on Patreon. So that is February's exclusive video for the top tier. One of the things we did was go book shopping, and he said he would buy whatever book the spinner wheel lands on, and I put like 10 of the books that were like on my radar. And this one is like a wintry horror thriller, a dread-inducing horror novel. A woman trapped on a mountain attempts to survive more than one kind of monster. So Jordaline actually recommended this to me at one point, but I also remember when this was like all the hype all over BookTube and Bookstagram, and I've been getting more and more into creepy books set in the winter, so this was perfect. Chapter lengths, not so perfect, but I'm willing to make the sacrifice to check this book out because a lot of people love this one. So moving on to the books that I spent my hard-earned money on. So first we have Normal People, the scripts, which I was so excited to find at a discounted price. Oh my god, I didn't even realize it has pictures in color. But yeah, it's literally the scripts of the show, and I'm so happy to have owned this. Like, this is a gorgeous photo. This entire show is gorgeous. The story, the book. If you haven't consumed it in any format yet, please do if you're into literary fiction, like sad girl lit fic. I mean, it has romance in it, but it's not a happily ever after, just warning you right now. But you just get so invested in these characters. A lot of people know this by now, but I did DNF the book the first time I tried to read it because I wasn't used to the whole like no quotation marks thing. Caught me off guard, so I just DNF'd it, tried watching the show instead, fell in love with the show instantly. Just like the gloomy melancholy vibes of it, it was just so well done. Made me appreciate the characters way more, significantly more. So then I tried the book again. At this point I think I've read it 2 or 3 times by now, but I definitely want to reread it again and again because I just cannot get enough of Marianne O'Connell. And I think the next reread I do will be this one, just because it'd be interesting and be a quick read. It's literally scripts. Like, that's so freaking cool. I knew this existed, but like I never had the desire to own it till I saw it for super cheap online. Another book that I craved to own for a very long time. For a very long time, it was like a month. The Fairy Loot edition of Feybound. I got it from Pango for as cheap as I've ever seen it. It was like $60, but I have no regrets because this is gorgeous. Gorgeous. I've shown it in a vlog already, so I'm not gonna take the dust jacket off and everything. You get the gist. I also bought the regular edition of Feybound. I started reading this edition and I was like, yeah, it's gonna be in my top 10 of the year. So I invested. Okay, invest in yourself, y'all. Here's your sign. Once I finished it, it was 5 stars. It was my favorite book of the month. It's definitely going on my top 10 of the year. I didn't stop thinking about this book. Like, I had a book hangover. So not too many books have done that for me in my life. Speaking of pretty editions, I bought this Babel Waterstones edition off my friend Anissa's Pango. She had it at a reasonable price, and I don't have any special editions of Babel. This also was on my top 10 of the year last year. It's just everything. If you haven't heard about this yet, I don't know where you've been, but R.F. Kuang is one of the most intelligent authors I've ever read from, and it's astounding to me that someone has this amount of talent and brilliance in them to create a world that's like so grounded, sophisticated, but also there are like fantasy elements. It's set in Oxford. There's a lot of like language translations, and there's like metal magic, like silver magic. It's kind of complex. It's like super complex actually, and it took me months and months to finish, but it was well worth it. Worth every single page. I actually did a little side project of reading Babel at coffee shops, at only coffee shops. Once I like realized that this is gonna take me months, I was like, okay, I need to be in my dark academia look, the vibes, you know? So that was a thing. It wasn't like it's dedicated vlog or anything. It was just like interweaved in my other vlogs. But yeah, that happened. Next, I have a box set. I believe these are also UK editions, but I don't know. I could be wrong. Yeah, UK editions of An Ember in the Ashes by Saba Tahir. Here are the covers. That's book 2. 3. They're so much better than the US ones. So I found these for super cheap on a random website, and I was kind of nervous that I wouldn't actually get them. It looked like a sketchy website, so I'm glad they arrived to me safely. I've owned An Ember in the Ashes for a while, but it was like super ugly covers because I bought it from a used bookstore for cheap back in college, and I never even like thought about touching it because I didn't like looking at the cover. And then Katie from Katie is Reading and Cass from Cassandra Lynn, for their Wyverns and Words book club, they're having a read along, and I already missed the first book, but it gave me an excuse to buy the whole series. So we'll see if I'm able to catch up, but at this point I kind of doubt it. At the beginning of January or so, Joey and I went to our favorite horror bookstore, Bucket of Blood, one of the very few reasons that we will step foot in Chicago. I bought To Be Devoured. This is a super short novella that I've been eyeing since I heard about it like 2 years ago almost. I like this cover better than the original indie one with the creepy vulture, but also I feel like it doesn't do the creepiness justice, because I think it is a story about vultures. I have no idea what it's about. I'm going into it blind, but I know McKay loved this, and it's been on my radar for years, like I said, so I'm excited to get to this. I'm hoping to get to this in February. Also from that same bookstore, I got Where the Dead Wait by Allie Wilkes, and this is like a polar gothic novel that I heard about from Erin and Megan, and I couldn't stop thinking about it, so I just bought it. And then I went to Half Price Books today and I saw it for cheaper, but
we're not going to talk about it. I supported an indie bookstore. It's fine.
oh, there's cannibalism in here. I've been reading a lot of books by accident that have cannibalism in them, and it's just such it's just such a delight. I don't know what that fucking says about me, but it says an ice cold brew of cannibalism and ghoulish horror. I'm excited. I heard Allie Wilkes's writing is slow, but it's gothic, so like I kind of expected that. But yeah, it sounds like it'll be creepy, and like I said earlier, winter novels, creepy winter novels. I am just into them lately. Speaking of, Devolution by Max Brooks. My coworker recommended this book to me, then I just caved and bought it from Pango for like $4. It's the author of World War Z. All I know is it follows a dude trying to investigate Bigfoot, write a report on it or something like that. I don't know. Creepy winter book, so I'm here for it. Other books I've already read that I bought because they were 5 stars and they're one of my favorite, if not my favorite, YA contemporary series. Although the third one didn't live up, but it's fine. I got Love Boat Taipei and Love Boat Reunion, again for discounted prices, and I just love the coming of age storyline in these books, and I cried. Definitely with the second one. I don't remember if I cried from the first one, but I love both of them and I will reread them because I'm not ready for this to be over. I just finished Love Boat Forever last month. Wasn't as good as the other two. I actually gave it 3 stars and I gave these 5. Basically these teenagers who go abroad to this program called Love Boat. It's hard to explain, but they're like all artsy and talented. Love Boat is known as the place where teenagers get into scandals and all this trouble and parties and fall in love. There's a lot that goes on, and I just love these characters so much. That's mainly why I love them. Like, y'all know I'm not a fan of all those pretentious, superficial parties and rich people things in books, but the characters are what got me for these two. Next I have When the Moon Hatched by Sarah A. Parker. This was put on my radar by Sash from Sash Reads, another one of my fellow vamps. This is a fantasy romance with dragons, that's all I know, and I heard the writing is stunning. I heard the world building is great.
It's fucking huge.
So RIP to my wrists when I read this, but it's a paperback so it should be fine. I'm hoping to get to it, if not in February, very soon, like before the summer. Hopefully in March, if not in February. It's been everywhere recently. I'm hoping I love it as much as Fear the Flames. I'm so excited for the Fear the Flames sequel. I'm hoping this is the dragon book for me this year. I hope this is 5 stars. That's all I'm asking because holy shit. Next, I have a vampire book that I've been eyeing forever and I actually had from the library for like 3 months, literally. And I just kept renewing and renewing until I maxed out the renewals and the overrides and all that. Night's Edge by Liz Perrin. I know this is about a toxic mother-daughter relationship and I could relate for some points of my life. The mom's also a vampire, so I'm intrigued. And I read the first like 8 or 10 pages and I like the writing. I can get behind it, and the sequel comes out this year. So hoping I like this one. I mean, if it's a vampire novel, it's mine. So I got Careering by Daisy Buchanan. I've had this on my wish list for a while, and then I heard Nicole's Nook talk about it and love it. I think she gave it like 4 or 5 stars. So I was like, okay, I'll get it. I found it for a discounted price once again. It's basically a lit fic about this woman who works for a magazine. She's just trying to like go through life and find herself basically through all these jobs. I think she's trying to figure out her dream job or something. Neither woman is aware of the crucial thing they have in common. Carrie, at the other end of her career, has also been bitten and betrayed by the industry she has given herself to. Can either woman reconcile their love for work with the fact that work will never love them back, or is a chaotic rebellion calling? Ooh. So it sounds like these women are dealing with like a toxic work environment of some sort, which I can also relate to. So, oh yeah, Imogen is in a toxic relationship, ... with her job. I'm hoping this has a lot of relatable discussions. It's gonna give me some war flashbacks to retail life, but hopefully the writing's good. Moving on to a sci-fi fantasy, right? Urban fantasy? The most celebrated science fiction and fantasy writer of her generation. Well, N.K. Jemisin is a sci-fi fantasy writer. I read the first one. I read The City We Became. Fun fact, it was actually the first book I ever tabbed. Oh my god, the tabs are atrocious. I'm gonna show you. Look at that. Like, who was she? That was before I knew how aesthetically pleasing it was to align everything. But hey, Past Jam did well with matching the colors. Also, what the fuck are these fat tabs? I don't even remember those. I remember my thin neon tabs. Anyway, yeah, so this is the sequel. Basically, this duology is about the 5 boroughs of New York personified. So there are 5 people that represent each borough, and then they fight this like monster basically trying to destroy New York or something like that. It was good when I read it. No, I'm not gonna reread the first one before reading the second one, but it is about time I finally continue the duology because I bought The City We Became in like 2020. Next we have a romance called The Art of Scandal by Regina Black. And I randomly came across this either on Amazon suggestions or Goodreads suggestions, and I have never heard of this. Apparently it came out last year and it was like all the hype and I missed it. I read the first page, but it's also in the synopsis. It immediately starts with the woman catching her husband. So her husband accidentally sent her nudes and clearly it wasn't for her. That's how the story starts. She catches her husband cheating and then she goes to a party or something. I don't know. She meets this significantly younger guy who happens to be the son of like a famous politician, I think. And then they hook up. It's that type of situation. I don't know who she's gonna choose. I don't know what's gonna happen, but I'm intrigued. I've heard good things about it. Based on just the first page, I mean, it hooked me right away, even without knowing the synopsis. So excited to read that very soon. I have a thriller, I believe, like a literary thriller called Penance by Liza Clark, who's the author of Boy Parts. And this is another one that I got from the library and had for months. And I was like, you know, I really want to just own it. That's why I haven't been reading it. And that's why I haven't returned it to the library, because I just want it for my shelves. So this is about this teenage girl, chilling, brilliantly told story of murder among a group of teenage girls. A powerful and disturbing novel in the vein of The Girls and My Year of Rest and Relaxation. So yeah, like a literary thriller, and I think there's like mixed media with like interviews or articles or something. I want to go into this mostly blind. I just know it involves the investigations of a girl's murder and her friends who were involved, maybe not involved, I don't know. But I enjoyed Boy Parts, so I'm excited to read more by Liza Clark. We have a few more, and oh, they're all by Black authors. Look at that. We'll start with a horror. White is for Witching by Helen Oyeyemi. This I heard is creepy. One of my vamps, Tiffany, really liked this one, so I got it because I've been eyeing it for a while. Every time I go to the horror bookstore that I talked about earlier, I think there's like a creepy house and a creepy family. Miranda begins suffering strange ailments. An eating disorder starves her. She begins hearing voices. When she brings a friend home, Dover's hostility toward outsiders physically manifests within the walls of the Silver House, and the lives of everyone inside are irrevocably changed. Why can't I say that word? Irrevocably changed. Irrevocably? Is that how you say it?
Why is this so tough?
It says a boldly original, terrifying, and elegant novel by why are there so many difficult words for me to say? Then the last two are romances. So I have Love in Color, which is a story collection, mythical tales from around the world retold by Bolu Babalola. I believe this was the author of Honey and Spice, which I also haven't read yet, but I've heard good things. I mean, I'm not always in the mood for a short story collection, but I own quite a few of them now, so I figured I'd get this as well. And I love the shape of this book. Like, it's like almost square. Anyway, the last book in this haul is The Perfect Find by Tia Williams. This is the author of 7 Days in June. There's also now a Netflix adaptation, so I'm going to be watching it after reading this, hopefully. If not, honestly, I'd probably read it either way. But this is about a 40-year-old former It Girl fashion editor. Broke and desperate for a second chance. She's dumped by her longtime fiance, fired from the magazine. She's hired at an online fashion site by the publisher, her old arch nemesis. And then she just like questions everything in life, obviously finds love. It is a romance. I'm excited for this one. I'm like genuinely really stoked to read another Tia Williams because I loved 7 Days in June. I believe that one made my top 10 of 2022, I want to say, maybe 21. I don't remember the year it came out. This is actually a backlist book. It just got a new cover once 7 Days in June got hype. All right, that is all. Those are all the books. I think I like this monthly haul because last year it got out of hand and it would be like 4 months at a time and it'd be like 80 something books, and that was just too much at once for me. So if you made it to the end of this video, let's put the octopus emoji in the comments down below because there's tentacles all over this cover. Let me know if you've read any of these books, which I should prioritize first. If you're curious about any of these books, talk to me in the comments, will ya? Thank you so much for watching. Hope you had a vampy day. Don't forget to do some self-care, and I'll see you in my next video. Bye!